Did you know the greatest comic book villain of all time, the Joker, was almost a one-and-done character? It's hard to imagine the world of Batman without his arch-nemesis, but it came incredibly close to happening. Let's travel back to 1940, to the pages of Batman #1. This legendary issue didn't just introduce the Joker, it also featured the first appearance of Catwoman. Talk about a stacked debut. The creative team behind Batman at the time was the trio of Bob Kane, Bill Finger, and Jerry Robinson. The exact origin of the Joker's creation is a bit debated among them, a story in itself. Jerry Robinson claimed he came up with the concept, inspired by a Joker playing card, and the actor Conrad Vita's haunting grin in the 1928 silent film, The Man Who Laughs. Bob Kane and Bill Finger, however, had their own versions of the story, but regardless of who thought of what first, they collaborated to bring this terrifying green-haired perma-grinning psychopath to life. In his very first story, the Joker is an absolute menace. He announces his crimes over the radio, warning his wealthy victims that they will die at a specific time. And then he makes good on his promise, leaving them with a grotesque, permanent smile on their faces. He's a cold-blooded killer, a far cry from the campy prankster he would later become in the Silver Age. He's a genuine threat, outsmarting the police and even getting the drop on Batman and Robin. And here's where it gets crazy. At the end of that first story, Batman finally corners the Joker. During their struggle, the Joker accidentally stabs himself. As he lies there, seemingly dead, Batman and Robin believe their nightmare is over. The final panel was written to show the Joker, definitively deceased, and that was supposed to be it. The end of the Joker. Can you believe that? Bill Finger, the writer, felt that having a recurring villain would make Batman seem ineffective. He wanted Batman to solve the case, take out the bad guy, and move on to the next threat. A revolving door of villains would just make our hero look like he could get the job done permanently. But thankfully, someone at DC Comics had a different vision. That someone was editor Whitney Ellsworth. He saw the incredible potential in this new character. He recognized that a villain this compelling, this visually striking, and this chaotically brilliant was too good to throw away after a single story. So, at the last minute, literally as the comic was going to press, Ellsworth demanded a change. He insisted they add a final panel. That hastily added panel changed everything. It shows the Joker being loaded into an ambulance. A paramedic looks over and says, "He's still alive." And with those three little words, comic book history was rewritten. The Joker was saved from the creative scrap heap, free to return and terrorize Gotham City for decades to come. Imagine an alternate reality where Ellsworth didn't step in. No The Killing Joke. No Jack Nicholson. No Heath Ledger. No Joaquin Phoenix. No Harley Quinn, because she was created as the Joker's sidekick. The entire landscape of Batman's mythology, and frankly popular culture, would be completely different. Batman's rogues gallery is legendary, but the Joker is its crown jewel. He is the perfect antithesis to Batman's order, the chaos to his control, the laughter to his brooding silence. The decision to keep the Joker around wasn't just a good idea. It was a foundational moment for the entire superhero genre. It established the concept of the arch-nemesis, the recurring villain who truly defines the hero. Before that, heroes often fought a string of forgettable one-off gangsters and mad scientists. The Joker's survival proved that a hero is only as great as their greatest enemy. His continued presence forced Batman to evolve, to be smarter, to be better. It created a dynamic that has captivated audiences for over 80 years. From that near-death experience in his very first appearance, the Joker went on to become a pop culture icon. He evolved over the years, reflecting the times. In the 1950s and 60s, the strict Comics Code Authority toned him down into a goofy, harmless prankster, more interested in elaborate non-lethal gags than in actual murder. This was the era of the giant typewriters and novelty props, a far cry from the killer of his debut. Then, in the 1970s, writers Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams brought the character back to his dark, homicidal roots. Their classic story, The Joker's Five-Way Revenge, re-established him as the terrifying force of nature he was meant to be. This darker, more psychologically complex Joker is the one that has largely dominated ever since. He became the unpredictable agent of chaos who doesn't want money or power. He just wants to prove a point. He wants to show the world that deep down, everyone is just as ugly as he is, that one bad day is all it takes to break a person. This philosophical dimension is what makes him so enduring. He's not just a criminal, he's an idea. He represents the abyss that Batman stares into every night. He is the ultimate test of Batman's one rule, no killing. Because more than any other villain, the Joker tempts Batman to cross that line. Their relationship is a perpetual dance on the edge of a razor blade, and it all hinged on one editor's last-minute decision to add a single panel. One moment of editorial foresight saved the Clown Prince of Crime from being a mere footnote in comic book history. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes, the smallest changes can have the biggest impact. It makes you wonder what other iconic characters or stories we might have missed out on because of a different editorial choice. So the next time you see the Joker on screen, or in a comic, whether he's making you laugh or sending a shiver down your spine, remember that his entire legacy was almost a one-shot deal. We have Whitney Ellsworth to thank for ensuring that the last laugh wasn't on the Joker, but with him echoing through the halls of pop culture forever. Thanks for watching. If you found this piece of comic history as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite characters. Let me know in the comments which villain's origin you want to hear about next. See you in the next video.